Chairman, Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy. Great to have you with us this morning, Senator. So Democrats want to scare people that millions will be kicked off Medicaid. But even if that's true, it's because they don't qualify. They could be here illegally. They could be working, but they won't work. The list goes on and on. Do you worry, though, that people will buy into this Democratic disinformation that we're hearing?
Absolutely, you have to be concerned about that. They're saying things which are not true. And you put it well. People say, oh my gosh, people will lose their Medicaid. Wait a second. If you're able-bodied, meaning you're not disabled, you don't have dependents, and you choose not to work, volunteer, or go to school 20 hours a week, you might lose your Medicaid. But I'm a doctor who worked in a public hospital for the uninsured for 20 years. When somebody works, volunteers, or goes to school, they engage in life, they're a lot healthier. Idle hands are a devil's workshop. I think the American people kind of get that. We're giving you free insurance. Why don't you do something for yourself? But the Democrats don't care about people doing something for themselves.
Yeah, good point.
No, you're absolutely right. Now the process of selling the one big, beautiful bill is the priority. So,
Yeah.
But the work never ends for you guys. So after being put on the back burner so you could pass that bill, the Senate faces a deadline next Friday to pass the more than $9 billion in DOGE cuts, which includes cuts to foreign aid, public broadcasting like NPR, PBS. Now, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says this would poison any bipartisan goodwill in the spending talks. But I'm surprised some Republicans apparently want to keep funding for PBS. Senator, do you think this thing gets passed by next week's deadline?
I think something gets passed, and you're just going to look at it. My gosh, we're here to represent the American people. And so if all you do is just kind of write a check to do something and you don't know anything about it, then that's not good. But Congress needs to look at it. But we're going to get rid of some waste, fraud, and abuse. That's the priority. Make sure that, I like to say there's a wonderful scripture. You want to separate the wheat from the chaff. Let's get that wheat out, make sure that we use it, and the chaff, let's throw it away.
I like that. I like that. And I know you're also working on a bipartisan proposal with Virginia Senator Tim Kaine on the issue of Social Security funding. I know you're looking to set up a new funding model that would basically let the Social Security Administration to invest in the stock market to build a new funding source 75 years from now. Can you walk us through that plan? And would that also allow young people to invest their Social Security in stocks for a better return on investment?
Well, that second part's not part of our plan, although it's not a bad idea, but it's not part of our plan. What our idea does is it says, wait a second, Social Security is going insolvent in 8 years. When that happens, there'll be a 20 to 25% benefit cut for people on social, people who will be. What we do is we set up a fund separate from the trust fund, and we put $1.5 trillion in it and allow that to grow with the American economy. And the power of the American economy takes that initial $1.5 trillion and in nominal dollars takes it to like $670 trillion over the next 70 years. That will avoid any benefit cuts. It'll pay for additional benefits for some Americans, and it will pay off any debt that we have, 85% of any debt we have. It's what you do with your 401k. Let's use the power of the American economy for the benefit of Social Security beneficiaries. That's the goal of the bill.
All right.
And one of the key provisions is it doesn't change any benefits for current recipients, because that's how people fearmonger about Social Security.
Yeah.
We actually increase benefits for some. And by the way, people say, well, what if the market goes down? No, the beneficiary gets her promised benefits. And if the market goes down, it's just kind of absorbed. But when you invest over 70 years, you got a lot of time to absorb and for things to come back.
I want to turn, while we have you here, because I know you're a physician as well, to Dr. Kevin O'Connor, the former White House physician for Joe Biden, really just pleading the fifth throughout his hearing yesterday, didn't really answer anything. What did you make of this?
I'm not quite sure why he pleaded the fifth. He could just say it's a patient-doctor privileged information. The fifth sounds like he's guilty. But by the way, anyone that saw that debate between Trump and Biden, where Biden's just babbling away, and Trump goes, he doesn't know what he said, I don't know what he said, you don't know what he said. He's pretty clear he was senile. And by the way, it was pretty clear that that process had begun sometime before. And it's also pretty clear there was a conspiracy of the mainstream media to hide the fact. And that's been exposed now. So I don't need the doctor to say it. I think my own eyes could tell me.
Information, truth is freedom, is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.